Alright, Gangle, when we catch up to them, I'll jump over, crawl inside, and shoot them repeatedly until they're unrecognizable.
I feel like that violates some kind of convention.
You're violating my ears with your clapback. Get driving, driver.
What if your favorite digital circus prankster wasn't just the funny guy causing chaos, but a full-blown criminal? Imagine Jax, the smug, sarcastic rabbit with that ever-present grin, sitting in a courtroom, not a circus tent. No jokes, no escape, no hiding behind the excuse of it's all just fun. Just cold, hard charges. Because here's the truth. If Jax lived in our world, his so-called pranks would look a lot less like comedy and a lot more like felonies. Think about it. Planting explosives in a truck with people still inside? That's not a gag. That's attempted murder. Unlocking doors that unleash chaos on innocent bystanders? That's facilitating violence. And constantly tearing down the emotions of the people trapped with him? That's psychological abuse.
He actually asked me to give you this. Whoa!
So, today we're flipping the script. Instead of laughing at his antics, we're putting Jax under the harshest spotlight of all, the justice system. If he were tried for every reckless stunt, every cruel joke, every act of sabotage, what crimes would he be guilty of? How long would his rap sheet be? And most importantly, would even Jax still be laughing when the final verdict comes down? Buckle up, because we're about to charge Jax with every crime he's committed inside the Amazing Digital Circus. To understand Jax's charges, we first need to understand who he really is inside the Amazing Digital Circus. Jax isn't just another colorful character. He's the rabbit-shaped wildcard of the group. Designed with lanky limbs, a mischievous grin, and a sharp tongue, he thrives on pushing boundaries. Unlike his circus companions, who often struggle with fear, confusion, or loneliness, Jax almost seems immune to the madness of their digital prison. While others panic, he mocks. While others search for meaning, he invents new ways to stir chaos. This detachment makes him unpredictable, and in many ways, dangerous. His signature? Cruel pranks. Jax doesn't just tease, he humiliates. He delights in emotional reactions, whether it's breaking down Gangle or tormenting Ragatha. Beneath the jokes lies a character who's not just a bully, but someone who tests how far he can go before the entire circus snaps. If this trial is going to stick, we need evidence, and Jax has left plenty of it scattered across the circus. His rap sheet starts with what most would call pranks, but they go way beyond harmless fun. Take, for instance, the time he sabotaged a truck while Pomni was still inside. To Jax, it was just another gag. To anyone else, it's attempted vehicular manslaughter. Then there's the incident where he casually opened a portal, allowing dangerous creatures to invade. Was it curiosity or reckless endangerment? Either way, lives were put at risk. But Jax's crimes aren't only physical, they're emotional. He seems to take special pleasure in targeting the insecurities of his circus mates. Gangle's fragile emotions? Exploited. Ragatha's optimism? Mocked. For Jax, every tear or frustrated shout is just more entertainment. When you add it all up, Jax doesn't just break rules. He creates chaos, both mental and physical. His actions paint a clear picture, a character who doesn't know where mischief ends and malice begins. And in any courtroom, digital or not, that's the foundation of a very dangerous criminal record. Now imagine this. Inside the bizarre world of the Amazing Digital Circus, a courtroom materializes. No wooden benches or marble floors, just neon lights, pixelated gavels, and a jury made of glitching NPCs. And at the center of it all, Kane, the ringmaster, stepping in as the judge. In this mock justice system, Jax's mischief transforms into formal charges. Tampering with vehicles becomes attempted homicide by explosive prank. Unlocking dangerous doors? That's facilitating mass violence. His endless bullying could be classified as psychological torture, while his unauthorized meddling with the circus environment borders on system tampering. This isn't just about fun anymore, it's about accountability. By reframing Jax's antics as crimes, we strip away the comedy and expose the darker consequences hiding beneath his grin. In this virtual court, every joke carries weight and every prank has its price. Every trial needs a clear list of charges, and for Jax, that list is long. Let's go through them one by one. Count 1. Attempted homicide by explosive prank. The most shocking entry on Jax's rap sheet comes from his attempt to blow up the Syrup Bandit's truck, with Pomni still inside. While he might call it just a joke, there's nothing funny about strapping explosives to a vehicle. In real-world terms, this would be a serious felony, carrying years of prison time. In the Digital Circus courtroom, it's the perfect example of how his fun often crosses into lethal territory. Count 2. Facilitating mass violence. Another incident saw Jax casually opening a portal, unleashing chaos and hostile creatures onto the unsuspecting circus world. Whether it was boredom or curiosity, the result was the same: danger for everyone else. Legally, this counts as reckless endangerment and maybe even conspiracy, since he knowingly created the conditions for harm. Count 3. Psychological torture. Ask Gangle or Ragatha what it's like to be around Jax, and you'll hear stories of constant bullying. He pokes at weaknesses, mocks insecurities, and thrives on making others miserable. While there may be no physical damage, the emotional scars are real. In a courtroom, this would resemble charges of harassment or emotional abuse. Count 4. Unauthorized system. Tampering. Jax also has a knack for breaking into places he doesn't belong, grabbing keys, opening doors, and messing with parts of the circus world that should remain locked. In legal terms, that's trespassing and digital tampering, the equivalent of hacking in cyberspace. Put together, these 4 counts create a picture of someone who isn't just mischievous. He's reckless, manipulative, and dangerous. Of course, no trial is complete without hearing the defense, and you can bet Jax wouldn't sit quietly while being accused. His first move? Smirk, roll his eyes, and dismiss every charge as an overreaction. To him, nothing is serious. He'd argue that the digital circus isn't even real, so how can there be real crimes? When accused of attempted murder, he'd probably laugh and say, "Relax, no one actually dies here." On the charges of bullying, he'd shrug. Hey, if they can't take a joke, that's their problem. To Jax, everything is entertainment, and the suffering of others is just part of the show. This detached, mocking attitude makes him almost untouchable. He hides behind humor, twisting every accusation into another punchline. And in the digital circus courtroom, that kind of defense might not prove innocence, but it could be enough to leave the jury doubting. And so, the curtains close on Jax's trial. Guilty or not, one thing is certain: his chaos keeps the digital circus spinning. Whether he's planting explosives, mocking his friends, or twisting every accusation into a joke, Jax proves that mischief and menace often walk hand in hand. In a real courtroom, his record would be stacked sky high. But inside the circus, his punishment is nothing more than another act in the show. The gavel falls, the spotlight fades, and Jax just smirks. Because for him, the trial was never a sentence. It was entertainment.